Hey, everybody. Hey, welcome back to the 53206 cast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Meg.
And Meg.
Yeah.
It's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
Meg, it's super exciting. We haven't for a long time. For no particular reason.
I know, yeah.
But for a long time, we haven't had a guest. And today we have a guest.
We do. It's so exciting.
You're pointing, but a listener can't see who you're pointing to. This is Amos Malone. Amos, can you give us, as we were kind of getting to know each other a little bit, you just listed off 10 different things that you're doing. Can you just give us a little bit of a background on who you are and where you're from?
Yes, my name is Amos Malone. I grew up here in 53206 in Milwaukee, born and raised. I went to school at, I guess I started kind of like high school area.
All right, yeah, it works.
Because the school that I went to was Beam.
Yeah.
But it was used to be called Malabi.
Okay.
So now I went there from middle school, elementary, and then I went to Dr. Howard Fuller Collegiate Academy.
All right.
Back when I was going there, it was called CEO Leadership Academy.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where I went for high school, and I've been here since my parents moved here from Chicago.
Okay.
And they moved a year before I was even born.
Okay.
So, that coincidence, I could have been born in Chicago, but... I'm here in Milwaukee.
Are you a Bears fan?
No.
That's fine.
I got the Bucks.
Yeah, that's fine. I could be a Bucks fan and a Bears fan at the same time.
I'm a big basketball fan, so everything is basketball. That's kind of how me and my family connected. But yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah.
So you're from the neighborhood. You went to school in the neighborhood, and so now, like, where are you? What do you got going on now?
So right now, I'm currently a doctoral student at University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. I'm in my second year in my program, and I'm in my last semester of coursework. So then after that, I'm essentially getting ready for my prelim exams and my dissertation phase, where I'll be conducting research in the community, studying the topic that's really dear to me.
That's great.
So And you were very open to kind of just lay this all out there. You are an outlier from the community, right? Because I look at a lot of the census data because I just think it's interesting. And one of the items on the census data is college education, post college education, and there are not a lot of there are very few doctors in our community or from our community, PhDs. How did you decide that was what you wanted to pursue?
So I'll take it back because all of it stems from criminal justice and everything with criminal justice. So I was raised here in Milwaukee, and I didn't say I knew about the statistics, but you hear, like, my whole life, people's like, you're going to be incarcerated. You're going to be incarcerated because as a youth, they always saw me as a bad kid. Oh, he has anger issues.
Somebody said that about you?
All the time.
Oh my gosh, you seem like the nicest person ever.
Oh, man. And people that knew me when I was younger would not agree with you. So when I was younger, they would just say, you're going to end up incarcerated because my whole family was incarcerated.
Can I ask, okay, I feel like two
good.
questions. So people would say that, like, who would say that to you?
Oh, man. Everybody I met, because I've been kicked out of Boys and Girls Clubs. I've been kicked out of school.
Okay.
Everywhere I went, no one wanted me around.
Okay.
Because it was always fighting, always
so, like,
getting into trouble.
Boys and Girls Club,
everywhere I went.
People and just everywhere, people would say, you're going to go to jail.
Yeah, just because there's like, I was so short fused. There's like, as soon as someone say something, I'm ready to fight.
Yeah.
Because I think it stems out of, and this is me reflecting, a lot of times I think it stems from my childhood and some of the things that I didn't have growing up. So both of my parents were drug addicts, right? And their struggles, like, my grandmother was primarily the one that took us in. So a lot of times we had to steal. I was stealing from Lena's just to get a meal, to get a meal. I
feel like listeners, Lena's is a grocery store.
Lena's is a grocery store.
Was a grocery store. I don't think it's called Lena's anymore.
So we used to have to steal from there to, like, get a meal or beg at the gas station for some money. But that was kind of like things that I was like, man, I got to figure out a way. And I've always been a way to, like, I got to figure it out. So my grandmother, what she did was she's instilling us, like, hard work, the ethic. So she used to have us selling candy. So she would buy, like, boxes of candy from the store, and she would drop us off in front of grocery stores in Walmarts and Pick and Saves and Menards. And, like, all right, sell us candy. And so that with that, it developed a sense of pride. It was like, I bet I can outsell more candy than you.
Yeah.
And then it's like you going up to strangers. Hey, you would like to buy some candy? Hey, would you like to buy some?
Get some social skills pretty quick.
Social skills, leadership, because now I had to learn to count money to make sure I was and then we had certain prices. So with that upbringing with my grandmother, and she kept us in the church. It was like I was fighting in church. So so it was just like, well, my grandmother always there to provide a little bit of resources, like, but I had to sell candy to get my own uniform. Had to sell candy to get shoes for clothes or make sure I eat. Like I used to take care of my sisters with the money that I sold from selling candy. Like we grew up around here on 25th in Nash. We had rats and roaches growing up the whole time. Yeah. So it was like I was scared because going to school, I was bullied. And for some reason, I got like the best hair in my family. It was curly. Nice. So it was like super curly. And everybody used to be like, "You got a different pair. Do you this?" So I used to get bullied for my hair, for being looking different. All my brothers are light skinned. Okay. I'm the only dark skinned one. Okay. So they's like, "You look different." They was calling me different race, and it was just like, I don't know. I was quiet. So because of that, I was short tempered, and I felt like a lot of times I was fighting is because of the trauma that I experienced as a kid. But I didn't know it was trauma then. It was just being a normal kid in 53206. Yeah. And I think that kind of seeing my brother go to prison, seeing my uncles go in and out of prison, it's like you see it, but you don't really know the magnitude of what that means. Yeah. So as a kid, it was just like, oh, you're going to be just right with everyone else. I remember one time I was stealing from Jules Osco on 35th, the old picket center that just closed down. Yeah. And the police officer told me one time I got caught. The police officer told me, "Oh, you got good hair. They're going to love you in jail." And I was just like, oh, I'm so scared. Oh, my gosh. But yeah, they called my parents, or not even my parents. They called my grandmother's house. No one answered. They was like, "We're just going to take you home." So they took me home, and I told them where I live, and I'll never forget the story. They told me I told them where I live, and they pulled up to the house. They was like, "Oh, we know this place. We familiar with this place." And I just was like, dang, my whole family is like real known for law enforcement activity. I was just like, what does this say about me and where I'm going to be? Yeah. So when I got older and I heard about the statistics, how you're more likely to go to jail or prison than to college from the zip code I'm from, it's just like, dang. Yeah. Like that was just an eye-opening experience when I learned about that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So like in high school, like how did you like push through and like, you know, push through the bullies, push through the people telling you you're not going to make it? Like how did you actually do that?
So that's interesting, right? So I ended up going to CEO Leadership Academy for high school, right? And in my first year there, I only went there because my brother-in-law, he was the one there at that time. Okay. And he was like, "Oh, you should come to this high school." And I'm like, okay, cool. I go there and I loved it. Uniform school, we don't have much clothes, so uniform school was where it was at. And went there and I loved it. I loved the culture of the school. I loved everything about it, and I was happy. But then I guess what happened was my sophomore year came, and I kind of started feeling myself. I got a little taller, a little stronger. Yeah. I started really getting into the girls and being seen, and I got into a situation where I got into a fight at the high school, and I got kicked out. I got expelled. Okay. And that was the moment I never knew that was gonna change the trajectory of my life. So once I got kicked out there for that fight, because they said I was bullying him, and it was just a misunderstanding of why we got into the fight. I ended up going to North Division. Okay. And I went to North Division, and I did the coursework for a semester, and then I was just, it's too easy. But at the same time, around that time, I was homeless. I was living on the couches of my sisters and my aunties, and my parents was living in the basement of their sisters and aunties. So I'm like, I don't really have a place to go. But at that point, it was just like, I'm over school. Like, I don't see the purpose of school. Yeah. So I kind of stopped going. Yeah. I stopped going, and I just was fake like I was going to school and stay at my auntie house, stay upstairs, my grandmother's house. And it got to a point where the change happened when I was 17. And my mother, she was staying in the basement. My pops had got arrested for stealing, and he was going to turn himself in. And my mom, my dad, and we sat down at a Chinese spot, Chinese restaurant food, and he was turning himself in, and my mom was like, "I'm going to rehab." And I was like, okay, if you change your life, I'll change my life. You know, And kind of he was going to jail, and I was like, okay, we're gonna figure it out there.
Yeah.
But I guess what led up to my mom wanting to change was CEO or Howard Fuller. They do this thing called a kente cloth ceremony.
Okay.
So every graduation, you'll give a cloth to the person that inspired you the most.
Okay.
And when my sister graduated from there, everybody's calling up their mom.
Yeah.
And my sister didn't call her my mom.
Yeah.
She called up her boyfriend, now husband.
Okay.
Called him up, gave him the cloth, and my mom was up there ready to get it.
Sure.
And that kind of like broke my mom, and it was just like, but you wasn't there.
You
wasn't doing what you were supposed to do.
Sure. Yeah.
So that was an eye-opening experience for her, and I think she had hit rock bottom just with the drugs and living in the basement and not being a part of her kid's life.
Yeah.
I think that affected her to the point now she like, I'm thinking about rehab.
Okay.
So I was like, well, if you get your life together, I'll get my life together.
Okay.
So she ended up going to rehab.
Nice.
And I was there the whole time, and I was like, okay, I like to see this. So at that time, I partnered with this nonprofit called Our Next Generation.
Okay.
It's on 35th and Lisbon, and they were helping people after school programs. Now originally I was going there just because they had a meal, because I had nowhere to eat. So
I just love that though. I love that like these places just have meals and it gets people in the door. Like it's beautiful, just beautiful.
And I love that too, because they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. That they recommended me to go to Usher New Look Camp.
Okay.
Which was a 2-week camp put on by the singer Usher.
Oh, really? Wow.
And they fly you to Atlanta. And then I think they brought people from Milwaukee. It was about, out of 150 kids, they chose 12, and I was one of the 12 that they selected.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So they brought me to Atlanta, and that was my first time ever leaving Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And I think the way the kids there, they had kids from Atlanta, Detroit, California, New York, and their kids were just being kids.
Yeah.
And I feel like in Milwaukee, I wasn't just a kid.
Yeah.
I felt like I had to grow up faster.
Yeah.
So when I saw kids my age being kids, and I'm like, they're doing great things. And I got inspired, but I was kind of mad because I had tattoos at 16. And they looking at me like, y'all are thugs and criminals. Like, why you got tattoos at 16? And I'm just like, I don't know what to say. But in that moment, seeing the other kids, being out of Milwaukee, seeing what other cultures are like. We stayed at Emory University for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And one of the camp persons, he was from Milwaukee.
Okay.
He now runs a Boys and Girls Club in Detroit, but he was from Milwaukee, and that was the first successful person I've ever seen in Milwaukee.
When you were 16?
When I was 17.
When you were 17, the first successful person
I've ever known from Milwaukee.
Wow.
That I was just like,
wow.
Oh, you can live out here? Oh, you can be from?
Yeah.
And he was working with Usher, and I'm like, man, okay. So I told him my story that I got kicked out of school and I dropped out. And I didn't tell you the second part was I went back to CEO for when I turned my junior year.
Yeah.
And I tried to go back because my whole family was there.
Yeah.
And I was there for like a week, and then they kicked me out again.
Okay.
Because I cussed out a teacher. Yeah. So they kicked me out again. I was like, this is the second time I kicked out. So I went back to North and I dropped out again at that time.
Yeah.
So then now I got accepted to this program. I'm seeing Milwaukee. I told him, I was like, I'm going to change my life. I made a pact. So he wrote me a letter of recommendation to get back into CEO again. And the reason why I wanted to go back to CEO is because this was the only school that I knew that preached to and through college. And this was the only school that I knew my family went.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I saw my sister graduate from here. I saw her brother graduate from here. I mean, her husband, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And they went to Whitewater. So I got the opportunity when I got into my senior years. So I'm jumping ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
After that, they wrote me these letter recommendations. I went back to ONG. They wrote me letters of recommendations. So then I went back to CEO for a third time, and I said, look, I'm not the same person I was before.
Yeah.
I want to be better.
Yeah.
I want to do better.
Yeah.
So then they accepted me back for a third time. They looked at the recommendations. They saw how hard I fought to get back in, and they was like, okay, we're going to take a chance on you. But I feel like at this time I was already behind academically. I was behind on everything.
Yeah.
So, but coming into my senior year, did the ACT, no ACT prep. I got a 14 on my ACT. Like, it was horrible.
Yeah.
So then when I got to high school, I'm like, everybody's applying to college.
Yeah.
I got denied from every college I applied to. No one wanted me. My GPA was low. I had no extracurricular activities. Like, I just didn't think college was possible. I would see my sister come back from college with all this new stuff, and they just look clean. And and I always told my sister, if any one of us make it out, it's gonna be me and you, and we gonna do something with our lives. And to see my sister doing her part, it was like really inspiring. So I'm like, I gotta figure this out. So I applied to Whitewater. I got rejected. I rejected from every school, and I was placed. They gave me the contact number for the admissions counselor at Whitewater. And I called him and I said, look, I'm gonna be dead or in jail if I don't, my sister go there. You know my family. I'll be dead or in jail if you don't accept me, man. This is the only place I want to go. It's the only place I truly want to go. And he said, if you bring me a 3.0 your whole senior year, I'll accept you.
Okay.
So that was the goal. So my whole senior year, I removed myself from friends. I stopped going out. I stayed in the house. And this is the time my mom got out of rehab. And she got a house. And I finally moved in with my mom. And I was living with my mom that time. And that was just like, okay, this is the stability now. You finally have a house. I finally have a room. And I'm not leaving this house until I get I went from probably like a 4th, 5th grade reading level my senior year to a 12th grade reading level. Because all I did was stay in the house and read books. I didn't go anywhere. Like, the books may have not been like educational, but it was something to initially get my foundation. And all I did was read books and got my reading level up. But while I was in my senior year, I had to take a lot of credit recovery because of the 2 years that I've truly missed. I had a lot of credit recovery. And eventually I was able to graduate. And once I graduated, and they finally accepted me into Whitewater. So I got the chance to go to Whitewater, and I just never looked back. Never looked back. Like, I made the best of it.
That's
but
awesome.
I had some struggles in Whitewater too. But
man, but like that is so inspiring that like you knew your path and you just plowed ahead, and awesome. It wasn't easy, and you know, like, you didn't have all the smarts at first, but you gained that. And I feel like all the smarts probably isn't the best smartest thing to say, but just so like that is, oh my gosh, that's such a cool story.
Yes, thank
such
you.
A cool story. So much hard work went into that.
It did. I think the separation from friends groups that I was around for so long, that I'm talking about, we used to go to parties together. We've been shot at together. We was just like, they was like my brothers. Yeah. We grew up. I met them at my cousin. We've been growing up my whole life. But then we met our best friend in 5th grade. We fought, and that's how we became friends.
That's how it
is. From that moment, we were like thick as thieves, all three of us together every day. And it was hard to separate myself from them, but it was just like, I think one story I'm missing was a really pivotal point in my life. Was around that time I got kicked out of school, my sophomore year. My brother was on the run from the police, and he stopped by my parents' house, and he sat me down and he told me, look, I'm about to go to prison for a very long time, because he was on supervision at that time. He's like, I'm about to go to prison for a very long time. You have an opportunity here that you're messing up. And if I could trade places with you, I'll trade places in a heartbeat. Wow. He was like, you can go do this prison time for me. I'll go do school over for you. But at that time, I'm 16. You think you know everything. Sure. It didn't click at that moment what he said to me. But it always stuck with me, because I think that was one of the most heartfelt conversations I've ever had with my brother. And this is my brother that's been gone since I was probably like 10, because he was in and out of prison. So I really didn't get a chance to truly know him. So it's like, but I always heard stories of how he was so inspiring. He wanted me to come everywhere with him. He was the only one that I had these picture, like, he loves me. Even if nobody else out here loves me, I know he loved me. But I don't know him because he's in prison. So the moment he got out of prison for a little bit, I had the opportunity to kind of hear his story and when it got back and forth. He would be a great person to talk to. Man. A lot of knowledge. But once he told me that story, I didn't understand. But once he got out of prison when I was in college. And I wrote him while I was in college almost every time to like, and I think that's what got me truly into criminal justice.
Wow.
Can you talk to us about how'd you go from Whitewater then to PhD student at
So I got to Whitewater, and it was a place where I felt out of place. You know, I come from Milwaukee.
It's different.
It was different. So
it's different.
It's like in the middle of nowhere.
It's in the
right?
middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You go.
I feel weird now when I go over there. Yeah.
So it was a complete culture shock for me. You go to being around a all black environment.
Sure.
To now going to Whitewater, and they accepted me into this program called Pathways.
Okay.
And pretty much it was a developmental course of saying that you're not ready for college, but we're still going to accept you. So I have this college feel.
Yeah.
I was kind of offended by that. Sure. It was like, I'm not ready for college.
Yeah.
I always felt that I was smart. I can do the work. I can follow instructions.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the tools or the resources that keep me on the right track. So when I felt that little bit of
pushback.
And I think that's the same thing I felt in college, was like, everybody's doubting me. And I know who I am. I'm a good person, but no one see that. Yeah. So it's just like, I felt like a little offended by telling me I'm not college ready. But I was like, let me show you. Yeah. So my first semester I got a 3.7, and I was just like, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm ready.
And then I got a 3.1 my first year. So my first year my GPA was a 3.5 cum. And I was so happy. But what happened my first year, I felt so out of place because I'm coming from Milwaukee. And I dressed a certain way, and I'm coming to class, and I'm the only black kid in class, but I'm dressed a certain way, and everybody looking at me, and they say, get in partners, and nobody want to partner with me. And I'm like, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. But,
and your whole life you've been told, like, you don't belong here. Basically, like, you know, you belong in prison or something.
School,
so, yeah.
So it just was sad. And I wanted to drop out. I wanted to leave so bad. But then I'll come home, and I think after my first semester, I had my sister there, which was a good thing. My sister was there. Yeah. So I will always be like, but my sister was with her husband.
Sure,
so I was like, oh, you by myself.
Third wheel.
But it was cool because we was in like a competition. And it was just like, you got a what after your first semester? You get 3.5? Okay, I'm going to do better than you.
Yeah.
And so it became a little healthy competition. Nice. But then after my first year, I was going back. I was working at KFC, got my first job. And I'm like, all right, making a little money. Yeah. I'm growing up. Yeah. And now I got to navigate coming home on weekends and sleeping on the floor to going back to my college and sleeping in the dorm room. So I was growing up faster. And then it got to the point where I was like, I'd rather stay home because I don't know if I fit. But then I come home. And everybody like, I don't fit back at home either. Sure. Because now I'm talking more proper, a little more educated. I'm dressing different. And I'm not liking the same things I used to like. I'm a little bit liking country music a little bit now. I was like, so
the farm got to you.
Yeah, my palate just like diversified. And I was like, the food I was eating, everything changed. And I'm dressing different. So it's like, I didn't know where I belong. I didn't fit there, and I didn't fit there. Yeah. So it was like, where do I... And I was just like, I got to be true to myself. I got to figure this out. So going into my second year, my sister dropped out. Her and her boyfriend dropped out. Okay. And left me in Whitewater by myself. And that was the biggest challenge because I'm like, I don't know what I want to major in. Yeah. I don't know what I want to do. Now I have no support, but I know that I cannot go back home because if I go back home, I have nothing there. I'll be sleeping on the floor. Yeah. I have nothing. I don't know what to do. So let me figure this out. Yeah. And so that's when I tried to join the fraternity. And I joined the fraternity, and it was like at that time, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But it was just like, I don't think I'm a fraternity type of guy. But if I surround myself with like-minded men that want to grow and succeed, then maybe they can push me to find something. Yeah. So in that process, I learned a lot about myself, but it was also the hardest time I've ever been through. And in that time, I'm trying to balance school because I was always either one or the other. I was all into school or I was all into over here. Yeah. Sure. So now trying to find this balance, it was a struggle. I ended up getting 2 0 points back to back while in college. Okay. And I didn't know that if you get 2 0 points, no matter your GPA, my GPA went from a 3.5 to a 2.3 within the whole next year. Yeah. And I didn't know if you get 2 0 points back to back, you're academically dismissed. Oh. Even because they say you got to have above a 2 point to stay eligible. Okay. But I didn't know 2 0 points is automatic. Yeah. So I had to appeal to get back into Whitewater after I got kicked out. And I was like, I can't go back home. I just can't. So I wrote an appeal letter, and they said, well, you got to take summer classes. And if you take summer classes, and you do good on summer classes, we'll accept you back.
Okay.
So I was like, well, I'm not going home. So that summer I stayed and I did my summer classes.
Yeah.
And I got back in.
Okay.
But now, at that time, I lost my job as an RA. I got kicked out the College of Business. And it was just like, oh, man, like, I lost my job as RA. I lost my job at the front desk, kicked out the College of Business. I didn't get the fraternity because now my GPA is too low. It was like, what do I do from here?
Yeah.
Like, where do I go? So I was at a crossroads at another, like, I've been here before. I can do this. I can do this. So I just buckled down and stayed to myself, and I just classwork, and grind.
Yeah, I mean, you had literally done that 3 years before.
Yeah,
exactly. So I was grinding before.
Yeah.
So I just grind, and eventually my GPA got back up to a 2.9, and then the RA called, hey, you want to be an RA again? Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you want to join a fraternity again? Sure. Hey, you know, like all the opportunities that I lost came back.
Sure, yeah.
So then, but at that time, I was just like, when I was finding myself, I had to realize, what do I want to do? My advisor asked me, like, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? You in the College of Business for what? I was like, because I wanted to open my own Boys and Girls Club nonprofit and help the kids, you know, because like I said, I got kicked out of the Boys and Girls Club when I was younger. So I wanted to like help people that struggle like I did.
Yeah.
Then when I realized, I'm like, well, I'm not going to be in the College of Business anymore. So I'm working security now. Let me do criminal justice. I've always found a passion in criminal justice.
Yeah.
So while I'm taking my criminal justice classes, like I said, I'm the only black person in my class, but I'm reading these statistics about black people in like the inner cities and stuff like pregnancy rates and incarceration rates, and I'm getting offended. I'm in class getting offended, and everybody in class I felt like was speaking on book knowledge, but I'm like, I have real world experience, and this is not like that. And I'm arguing with the professors that wrote the book. I'm arguing with the classmates because they like, people with tattoos are dangerous. I'm like, I have tattoos. Am I dangerous?
Yeah.
So I was like,
what year would that have been? Roughly.
That was in 2000. I got to college in 2010.
Okay.
So that was probably like 2013.
Okay.
2013, 2014. So now I'm arguing with.
So it's not like it was in the 60s.
No, no, it was early.
Yeah, okay.
And we like arguing in class, but I felt so passionate about it because I'm like, this is nice. So then now I'm taking this punishment and corrections course, and my professor, he took us to a prison. Now this is not my first prison. Now when I was at ONG, there was a mentor there. And he'd help design prisons. And at that time, my brother was in prison. I asked him, can you take me to a prison? And I was like, I want to see my brother. And this is the first time my family was ever able to go see my brother in prison. He'd been in prison for a long time.
And is that just because he was far away? And
he was far away.
Transportation?
Yes.
Yeah.
No transportation, know how to get there. So when he took us to prison, we saw my brother, and he couldn't even hug us. He couldn't talk to, like, it was like that separation. And he was like, I can't take that. Like the money, because you can't take anything from him. The rules that we didn't know the rules.
Sure. Yeah.
And I saw my brother, and I just looked at him, and I was just like, I felt so bad for him.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is sad.
Yeah. And
I was just like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
But to see a prison up close with the gates, and it was just like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Not in a good way, but it was just like, this is. It's like the movies.
Yeah.
And my mom always used to show me movies growing up of prisons. It's like, you don't want to end up there. You don't want to end up there.
Yeah.
And it always scared me, but to see it up close, it was like, oh, it had that affectionation.
Yeah.
So then I saw my brother, and I was just like, okay, this is different. Visiting room, and I'm like, all right. And then in college, my college professor took me to Racine Correctional Institution. And now we on a tour. Now we get to walk on the inside of the prison.
Okay.
And again, I'm the only black person in class. So when I walk in, I'm the only black male there. We walk in, and we taking the tour, and I'm looking around, and everybody in there look like me. And they're cracking jokes with me, and I'm laughing with them. We're doing basketball. And I was like, I'll bust you in basketball. And I'm like, let's do it. And then I walk into the barbershop. He was like, hey, man, you want a haircut? You get blinded. I'm like, man, can I get a haircut? They like, no. So, but then when I left, I ended up writing my brother a letter while he was in prison. And I was like, man, we went on this tour.
Yeah.
I felt so comfortable. Like, it was good. I thought it was going to be scary.
Yeah.
And my brother here is like, why do you think you were comfortable in a prison? And he was like, because it's designed for you to be there. And I was like, ooh,
wow.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that.
That's, yeah.
And I'm like, so from that moment on and just hearing that, I was just like, oh, wow, okay. I want to help people like my brother.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to help people like my brother. And for me, that set it off.
Yeah.
So then, and when I was graduating in 2015, he got out of prison in 2014, right before graduation.
Oh, that's great.
And he was able, it's a picture on Whitewater page where me and him walking into the graduation ceremony.
Cool. Oh.
So I was able to graduate, and then I couldn't find a job after graduation, so I was working in a factory, struggling. And I had a baby. Now I got a baby while I was just graduated.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out life at that point and still stay true to my career.
Yeah.
And then after that, I ended up getting to the master's program. Someone was like, you're so smart to not just be doing anything. You need to be learning.
Yeah.
So, and she was my friend at the time, and I was like, okay, sure, what should I do? I don't know what I'm doing.
Sure, yeah.
It's like, I got a baby. She was like, well, I'm about to go do my master's in this higher ed. Come with me. So I did it, and I was just doing it to get the refund checks to help take care of my family. So once she did that, it kind of opened my eyes, like, well, what do I want to do now? I was like, all right, well, I'm going to be a criminal justice professor. And that idea just sat there.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm going to get my doctorate when I'm finished with this. And I was just like, I think I'm done with school. I don't think I want to do this anymore. But to see how she operated, it was like, okay, I'm just as smart as you. I can do this.
Oh, yeah.
I can do this.
Yep.
So she went on and got accepted into a doctoral program. And I didn't. I applied to, and I got it rejected. And I was just like, okay, I don't really know what to do.
Yeah.
So I just didn't know how to become a criminal justice professor. And I was like, but I really want to help people getting out of prison.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I went back to the factory and I was working there, and I went through a depression and trying to figure out how to take care of a kid, get into the field, how to truly help people. And then I took a job, I met a mentor. She was a warden. And I was just like, well, how do I become a warden?
A warden at a prison?
At a warden prison.
Yeah.
So I was just like, how do I do that? Yeah. And she was just like, you got to start from the bottom. You can't just skip lines.
Sure.
I thought that
just handing out
that
words.
makes sense. Yeah.
I thought that if I got a degree, I could work anywhere,
sure.
right? So I thought I could skip the line. And she was like, no. So I took a job as a correctional officer. And I was just like, I don't want to be in the prison. I don't want to feel like I'm in prison too with the mandates. And I was just like, I just can't see people locked up. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
It was just like hard for me to see.
Yeah.
So I was just like, no. What's another way I could be seen as an expert and truly get to the population that I want to get to?
Yeah.
So I became a probation officer. And I left. I didn't even finish the academy. I left from the correction officer academy and went straight to being a probation officer. Okay. And then in that, I fell in love with being a probation officer because I'm like, I have direct access to the population that I want to serve and that I want to help. And once I became a probation officer, I still had the aspirations of getting my PhD in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
So I was taking a second master's class at UW Platteville where I was just wanted to show doctoral programs like, hey, I can do graduate level work. Yeah. So I just started taking classes for fun while I'm not working. But while I was working, I was a probation officer. But that was an eye-opening experience because it wasn't what I thought I was going to be doing. Okay. So, and I had to take a long look in the mirror at what I was doing in the system that I was a part of in the history. It's like, I just got in it to help. I didn't know that it was larger than what I was looking at. Yeah. So I had people come to my supervisor. I remember the first time I arrested someone, I cried in front of at the office. So it's like, because she was a drug addict and I didn't realize I was going above and beyond, so passionate to help her. Yeah. because I'm like, my parents were drug addicts.
Yeah.
You know, you could die, overdose, fentanyl, and all. So it's like I was going above and beyond to truly help her. And she just kept using, and I didn't have a lot of resources to help her. So the only thing I had was to lock her up. And she said, "You said you wasn't gonna lock me up. You said you wanted to help me." And I just cried because I was just like, I didn't want to lock her up, but I didn't know how to advocate either.
That was your way of helping her.
I mean, that was my way of helping her. And
it sucks, but it probably is the best thing you could do.
And the crazy part, it was the best thing I could do at that moment because what happened was.
But there's just no way, because I dealt with that working in schools. It's just like there's nothing you can say to that person to make them understand. And you're just really hoping that you're right, that it's the best thing for them. I mean, it probably is, but that's hard.
It was hard because I didn't keep her in there long. So what I ended up doing was I ended up finding her a treatment bed. I got her out of the city where she was using drugs. And I was like, okay, here, I'm going to give you a treatment option. Put her in treatment in Racine. I was in Walworth County at the time. I put her in treatment in Racine. She didn't know anyone there. And I ended up seeing her again after she got out of treatment. And she was like, "Thank you." Like
that's nice.
Thank you, because
that's wonderful.
Now she's clean and she's doing way better. And I was like, okay, I'm making some difference. I'm making some difference. And from that moment on, I was just inspired to try to help people, which led me to, I was a little mad. I was mad at the pay. I wasn't getting paid a lot as a probation officer. So as an inspiring someone that's really inspiring, and I'm inspiring everybody else to make changes. I'm like, what about myself? What am I doing? And I was like, I'm going to go federal. I'm gonna find a way to go federal probation.
Okay.
Is that better?
I don't even know what that is.
It's the United States probation.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm going to go to do federal supervision. How I'm going to get there? I have no clue. But I'm going to figure it out.
I'm noticing a pattern with you.
I love it.
And that's kind of where I'm at now.
That's great,
today.
man.
I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I eventually became a federal probation officer after 2.5 years.
All right.
Okay.
And I did everything I could. I would start mentoring kids at Whitewater. I started joining associations. I started doing a lot of things that put me in positions to become a federal probation officer. Okay. And now I'm like, the pay is better.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I still get to help people.
Yeah.
And I want to do that. So then I fell in love with that part of being a federal agent. But the one thing I didn't realize was my mental health and how trying to help everybody, and some people don't want the help. So it's like, and now I'm also arresting people. So now it's like, am I really helping or am I hurting? So I start questioning a lot of things, but then I realized that I was getting burnt out from all the people that I was trying to help and save. So then I was like, what about me? And I let my health go, and I let a lot of things. So my ambitious part came up again, and I was just like, what am I doing? I feel like I could be doing something bigger to truly help society instead of just the one individual that I feel like God put us into a position to come across the paths. Despite how we came out, there's a reason why we met. And I really tried to help everybody that I came across. So I got inspired. I'm like, I never gave up my dream of the PhD, even though I got denied twice. And it was from UWM. I got denied twice. And I was just like, I want to be there. That's the school because they have a professor, Thomas LaBelle. They had other professors there that worked in reintegration space. And I was like, this is the school. I know it is. So after I got denied twice, I applied again as a federal probation officer. And I was just like, I'm going to get this. I'm going to be there. You can't tell me no for too long. I feel like there's always a way around.
Well, you've clearly proven that.
So they accepted me into the program. And then I had to make a decision whether I want to stay a federal probation officer or if I want to go to a fully funded doctoral program. And I felt like this was the way that's going to help me get to a bigger space in the reentry and corrections field because I do want to be seen as an expert. I want to know this stuff. And I really truly care about the community. So that's kind of how it led me to even getting a doctorate degree.
That's
Sorry,
so
that
cool.
was really long.
That was so cool. I mean, I feel like no, it was good. So good. So good. Yeah.
So you just wrapped up your first. Well, are you 3 semesters in or 2?
This is my 4th semester.
4th semester, okay.
So I'm in my second year. Last semester of coursework.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And I don't want to put you on the spot, but so you take all that experience, life experiences in general, growing up, going to school, going to Whitewater, being a probation officer, all that. What a lot of times people will, when they are in a space, they've got some ideas on how to make the space better.
Mm-hmm.
So, going through 3 semesters of coursework now, if you have, what's a recommendation you have, or what kind of changes do you want to see? What do you want to see more of? What do you want to see less of?
Are you
super open-ended, but
right?
And are you asking in the community or in re-entry or just whatever?
Just in general.
Okay.
So you've gone through this process. You're moving along the path of becoming an expert in this field.
Yeah,
Clearly, when you have a PhD, I mean, you're an expert.
Yeah,
right. You
yeah.
get.
You do
It's
the
one of the
research.
few. It's one of the few things they sign the papers, and you're literally an expert in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious. You've got all that. What do you want to see happen in the future?
I want to be able to create lasting change.
Mm-hmm.
We understand that, people look at the Department of Corrections or anything as a prison or correctional system as a oppression and a way to truly create the disparities and further traumatize people. So my goal is to eventually help people in this space. And if that's preventative work, if that's policy change work, if that's helping those people that's in the middle of the system. So I started my own nonprofit, and my nonprofit essentially helps people that's been affected by the criminal justice system.
And what is your nonprofit's name?
It's called the Malone Foundation. The Malone Foundation.
Little plug.
Right. And I put it, thank you. I put it on like a little pause right now while I'm getting this doctorate, just because I can't truly do everything by myself.
I would assume that the work, and I'm just guessing, but I would assume that the work that you're going to ultimately land on will have changed slightly after completing this program, because you're going to take when you go to write your dissertation, I mean, it's literally probably going to be what your foundation is going to do, I would assume. Or
yes and no, actually.
Okay.
All right.
Actually, no.
Okay.
Because
all right, tell me a little bit
my
about
perspective has shifted a little bit, right? And it's according to the research and what I found. So the Malone Foundation essentially want to help people that's under supervision or affected by the criminal justice system. So a 2-parter. So it's like those that's getting out of prison or that's under supervision. How can I help you? It's not saying that we committed the crime or someone committed the crime. It's like, okay, that's the past. How can we help you now? What do you need to be successful? If that's the mindset shift, if that's resources, how can we help you to not go back or not get in trouble again? So it's like, what do you need for the cognitive there? And then the second part is the prevention work. And that's where I started the Guide and Grow program. And the Guide and program is for youth that have been impacted by the criminal justice system in some way, and let them know like it's not too late. Like I've been kicked out of school, I've been kicked out of a lot of things. People written me off so much. Granted, I've never been incarcerated, especially as a youth, but it's like it's still not too late for you to change your life before you become an adult. So to be able to do this Guide and Grow program to truly help the youth that have been affected, it's like, well, I got a felony. Is that going to affect me as an adult? It's like, you're a juvenile. That record shouldn't be used against you. But it's like, what can we do to prevent you from ever? Like, you still have so much life ahead. So is that prevention work, teaching them skills where it's like problem solving? How I separated from my friend group and I had to recognize that. Our peers can hold us down sometimes and recognizing how to say no to them. And then it's like some of them never tied a tie before. So I was teaching them how to tie a tie. But I was also bridging the gap between the stigma between how people see law enforcement. Like I brought several people that works in criminal justice, from assistant U.S. attorneys to someone that's been incarcerated, imprisoned, to the chief of police, to people that really be like, we're human, we're people just like you, we want to see you succeed. And those people can give back, and it's like, how do we bridge that gap between the youth and the stigma of those that they feel is out to get them? So that was the Guide and Grow program, and just providing them resources. I mean, that was I was doing everything by myself, me and my wife, she was helping me, but it became a lot trying to be in school and do that at the same time.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But when I say that's not necessarily what my dissertation focused on. So a lot of my dissertation, what I realized was I wanted to make it more personable. As much as I want to help those that's impacted by the criminal justice system, there's also a space where, and when I was a federal probation officer, I was one of 5 out of 60. So I'm not.
What do you mean you were one of 5?
One of 5 minority or African American probation officers. So it's like I'm not afraid of being in spaces where I'm the only black person. Even now, it's just like when I was the first black and only black probation officer that they had in Walworth County. I was the first and only black person on the Fire and Police Commission in Walworth County in Whitewater. So it's like I remember the first time I went to the jail in Walworth County, they thought I was an offender. Oh my gosh. Even the probation officer thought I was an offender. So it's just like I go there all the time, and that's the space I get. But it's like changing that perception that like probation officers are just so wrong people. Like I feel like most people get into the profession to truly help. So being a minority probation officer, what I realized in doing the research, right? There's this thing called like vicarious trauma and secondary traumatic stress and compassion fatigue. And what I realized is a lot of the research talks about that for law enforcement. They talk about that for therapists, for social workers, but they don't, and teachers, but they don't talk about that for probation officers. Why? Because probation officers are all those jobs in one. You got to enforce the law. You're probably the only support system that person has had getting out of prison because they burnt bridges. Probation officers now have to be that trying to inspire change, and they know your whole family, and they helping you find jobs, and their role is all those in combined. But there's no research that talks about the secondary traumatic stress or the vicarious trauma, because think about it, as a probation officer, you're hearing stories all day long of criminal activities, and you can't go to the same stores because you're like, oh, I supervise him. You don't know if this person's gonna hurt you. Oh, I can't go. I gotta walk with my back this way. I don't know who's following me. Watch. I had someone tell me, "Hey, I saw you getting in your blue car." I said, "Oh man, I was like, oh,
I got a red car."
It's like I saw you at the store. I was like, oh, so you got to be mindful where you go, what you do, because you never know people's intent. So even though I never did anything bad to anybody, but it's like you never know. So it's like, think about it. As a sex offender agent, you hear stories of so many things that happen to people that changes your perception of how you see reality. So I'm very cautious of who I let watch my kids and where I leave my kids. And because of that, there was not a lot of research on it. But then it got me to thinking, well, if there's not a lot of research on probation officers, what about minority probation officers?
For sure.
Because that hit close to me. So I'm like, and when I realized there's very even less than that of minority probation officers. So now I'm like, I still want to help the people that's infected by the criminal justice system, but now I'm even more passionate about the practices and policies. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I'm more passionate about the policies and procedures of supervision and the people that's under supervision, and the policies and practices of how people are being supervised, and what preventative or interventions methods that's going to help people with burnout, mental health. Because when you're so passionate about this field, like, you burn out faster. And how can my research and what I plan on producing, my literature, the studies I plan on doing, how does that going to affect changes on the national level when it comes to supervision in the United States? How is that going to help those probation officers, but also help those that's under supervision? Because I don't want people to just be revocated or placed back in prison because the rules didn't make sense. So when I was an agent, I made sure that I was educating people. This is what you're signing. Like, you say you understand, but has anybody truly broke it down and explained what you're signing and how you could be revocated? Or when I was in pretrial, it was like, how do you understand that you just pled guilty to? You understand the collateral consequences of pleading guilty and becoming a felon? Do you understand that you just said you admitted to committing this crime? You understand? But I didn't do. But that's not what you just said. You just said you pled guilty. The judge asked you, "Did you doing this voluntarily? Did you understand? Are you competent?" So it's like I really tried to educate people on the criminal justice system to say, "Hey, this is what you're signing. This is what you're getting yourself into. This is how you can be revoked." And they're like, "I didn't know that," or "I didn't know this," or "I didn't." And I wish. So now I'm just trying to educate. And in a way, how can I change policies and just be a part of change?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you got.
Oh, and then I was like, that led me to like some of the books I've been trying to work on. And
yeah. We got another minute. You want to talk about that a little bit?
And also, I just want to pause. Like, where can people follow you? You have such a cool story. I feel like people can go to your website, themalonefoundation.com. But where else can people?
So I'm like in that generation of millennials that where social media was freshly new. Sure. So I never really got, like, as a probation officer, they tell you, you don't want to have a social media presence because you don't want people to follow you that you supervise. So you gotta kind of have that boundary.
That makes sense,
So for the longest time, I was like real skeptical to be on social media, but now understanding how social media is a presence and a platform that you have to say, I'm new to this. I'm new to all of this. So I have an Instagram. I just started, but I don't have anything posted.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm on LinkedIn. I guess if others want to find me, I'm on LinkedIn. My name Amos Malone on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And
or they could go to your website.
Go to my
website.
Like,
they could find out.
My email is there. I have an email list.
Do you have an email list? Like your.
I do not.
Okay, we'll talk. We'll talk. Yeah.
I'm still new to all of this. Like,
that's right. Yeah.
I just want to put myself in a position of success.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And what it looks like to truly give back to the community. Because, I mean, another thing that I've done, I've gave a scholarship to Howard Fuller Collegiate Academy to seniors that's graduating that plan to go to the UW system school.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because I understand what it was like. So I used to give out $250 with a laptop.
Okay.
But, over time, you working in school, funds are not always the best. So I had to put that on pause, but it's my goal to eventually give out more scholarships to get people to go to universities, to see people succeed, because every year I go back to Alumni Day, and this is what keeps me going. I go back every year to Alumni Day, and I talk to the freshmen how I got kicked out of school. I talk to the freshmen of what I've been through, my parents been through. And I tell them, like, look, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. This is what I've seen. I've cried with people that I seen get a federal indictment, and I'm sitting there interviewing them, and they're 18, and I'm crying like, man, you didn't even have a chance. And it just breaks my heart to be like, okay, how can I help? So that's the reason why I wrote a book. And I'm trying to see how to navigate supervision, and I'm telling them techniques, the boundaries, counseling, how to kind of separate yourself, like working with your PO instead of looking at them as the enemy, working with them to truly get all the help and resources you need. But it's a lot of it is healing, putting God first, healing, and just recognizing your traumas and setting boundaries to truly get to where you want to get to.
That's awesome. Wow.
Thank you.
I feel like, this podcast has been great. It's been, just thank you for telling your story and being so open to sharing all the ins and outs of all the different things. I mean, you went through so many different ups and downs, and it's really neat to hear. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you kept bugging CEO. Was the
it's called Dr. Howard Fuller Collegiate. I was on the board of directors for 4 years there.
Nice.
So they let me, when I graduated, I was getting my master's, they asked me to be on the board.
Nice.
And I was on the board and helped them with the project that allowed for them to get the new building over there on Vale Phillips. I was a part of that on the board. That's to help get a part of that. But right now I'm not on the board. My term was up, and now it's just focusing on my next steps in my future, because after I get this PhD, I'm trying to figure out what's the next move.
Oh, that's so cool.
Well, I'm really glad that you kept convincing them to let you come back. It worked out good for you.
It did. I don't know where the thing is, I didn't like the narrative that they painted. I was just a bad kid. It was just like I was homeless. Parents were not around. I was going through trauma. And recognizing that was a cry for help. And that's a lot of these youth now. There's a cry for help.
Yeah.
And when we recognize that cry for help, we can do better.
Yeah. And it makes you want to interact a lot differently than this kid's just mad and punching people.
Exactly. Well, why? We got to get to the root.
Right.
Why?
There's a reason.
Why?
Usually.
Okay, so after you get your PhD, I feel like once you get things started, we want you to come back on and just like tell us, in a year, give us an update, because that would be really fun.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
I really appreciated being able to tell my story. I really appreciated the work that I'm trying to do and just get my story out there.
Yeah. Well, that's
Thank
awesome. We're rooting for you and excited to see where you go, because it's going to be great. Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.